Hello and welcome to Aset's English channel. This is our first English lesson. Today we're going to talk about experiences in our life. Usually in English when we talk about our experiences we use the present perfect. So if we take a look here, we have three verbs: go to, eat and see. When we talk about our experience we change them to the present perfect. Go to changes to been to, eat changes to eaten, and see changes to see. So in this lesson we're going to use these three verb forms. So let me show you some examples. I have been to Kobe. So Kobe is a beautiful city. I've been there many times. I have eaten sushi. Sushi is a very delicious Japanese food. I like it very much. Again, I've eaten it many times. I have seen Mount Fuji, but only once, from the bullet train, the Shinkansen. So these are some of my experiences. So we can talk about any experience, any place that we've been to in our lives, places we've visited. I have been to Taiwan. Taiwan is a beautiful island and very exciting place to visit. I have eaten, well, what have I eaten? I've eaten Mexican food. Mexican food is fantastic, very spicy and delicious. I've seen Tokyo Tower. Tokyo Tower reminds me of the Eiffel Tower. But so far I haven't seen the sky tree in Tokyo. I want to see the sky tree. So, any experience in our life we can talk about. But after we introduce the subject, then usually we change the tense. We change to the past tense. So for example, I have been to Thailand. I went there 6 years ago. It's a beautiful country with delicious food. So I start my talk with have, but change to the past tense. I have eaten what? I have eaten natto. I love Japanese food, but I don't like natto. I only ate natto once, and I don't plan to eat it again. I've seen Harry Potter, an exciting movie. I haven't seen all of the movies. I think I've seen 3, but they're very interesting and fun to watch. So that's how we can use have to talk about our experiences in our life. Okay, now we're going to practice asking questions about people's experience. But there are 2 different ways that we can ask the question. So if you look at the first question here, have you been to Tokyo? So, for me, I live in Japan. For most of you watching, you live in Japan. So it's very easy to go to Tokyo. So we just say, have you been to Tokyo? If it's something easy. But if it's somewhere difficult to go to, then we change the question a little. Have you ever been to Iran? Most people watching this video have not been to Iran. I haven't been to Iran. So, if we think the answer is probably going to be no, we use ever. We use ever. Have you ever been to Iran? So again, with food, have you ever eaten spaghetti? Most people in the world have eaten spaghetti. There are Italian restaurants everywhere. I've eaten Italian food in London, I've eaten it in Kyoto, I've eaten it in Bangkok. Everywhere you can eat it. Most people have eaten it. So have you eaten spaghetti? But have you ever eaten snake? Most people haven't eaten snake. It's a little bit unusual. So if it's unusual or a little bit difficult, we use ever. Have you ever? So, for example, have you been to Kobe? I've been to Kobe. It's very close to Kyoto, where I live. It's a beautiful city. I like to go to Kobe. Have you ever been to North Korea? I haven't been to North Korea. I'm a little scared to go to North Korea. So, probably I won't go to North Korea. Okay. And food. Have you eaten sushi? So, most of you here in Japan will have eaten sushi. I've eaten sushi. It's wonderful Japanese food. I recommend it. Have you eaten what? Have you eaten snails? Lots of French people like to eat snails. I haven't eaten snails. I don't want to eat them. Have you eaten them? Okay. So, a little review. When we talk about our experiences in our life, we change the verb to the present perfect. Go to changes to been to. Eat changes to eaten. See changes to seen. When we tell people about our experiences, we use have. I have been to Kobe. I have eaten sushi. I have seen Mount Fuji. And when we want to ask questions, there are two types. If it's something very easy for the person to do and you think the answer is yes, have you been to Tokyo? Have you eaten spaghetti? But if you think it's a very difficult question, something probably the answer is no, then have you ever been to Iran? Have you ever eaten snake? Okay, so that's the end of our lesson today. Thank you all very much. I look forward to seeing you again next time. Thank you very much.